Yo, good morning. Welcome. It's Friday. It's Friday. It is what day is it? It's the 18th. It's July 18th. Friday, July 18th. We're here. Guys, big news today coming in. Today, Donald Trump signing into law some crypto bills. So there's that. The Genius bill is happening. We are getting a little pull down right now on Bitcoin. You can see that happening. Very small, though. As Piano Matty B said earlier on the show, we're just consoliranging right now. Consoliranging. It's where you're ranging in a consolidation pattern. So we're consoliranging right now on Bitcoin. But overall, guys, we are seeing a little bit of a pull down in the market. That pullback happening, and about 50% across the board here on the crypto side. Some things are up, some things are down on the hourly. Look at the daily, though. Mostly green. Bitcoin currently sitting at 118,801. Ethereum ripping the roof off. It won't stop. It's at 3642. And guys, we're going to break all this down. We're going to talk about the headlines. We're going to look at a little bit of data that just came in on Michigan consumer sentiment, just released 2 minutes ago. So we're going to take a look at all that. We're going to break down the headlines. We're going to look at the charts, talk about where we could be heading. It is the weekend. It is Friday. We're going to party it out and hang out with the alumni because that's what I like to do. I like to, hey, what do you want to do when you retire from the Army? I was asked, and I said, I think I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to hang out with the alumni, and I'm going to trade crypto. And they said, what? And I said, exactly. If you don't know, I guess you should start watching my channel. Here's my link. And then I left the building, got my DD214 and said, peace. So, all right, guys, let's do it. Let's break it all down. Let's get into this. You know what time it is. Everyone take your seats, get your notebooks out. Daniel Barnes, please check that back door. Make sure nobody's sneaking into class. You guys know the drill. Class in session. Let's get it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I'm Army Piper. This is the Piper Academy Network. You guys are the beautiful alumni, and this is my co-host extraordinaire, the Mexican Superman, the OC guy. What's up, dude? No.
I just got you. I just wasn't this time.
I don't care. You're getting crickets regardless for that.
Yes, I am.
Emotional damage.
Still, I needed to make that a little joke. I'm doing fantastic. Very excited to be Friday. Yesterday we took some pizza from Domino's, and it was not a good night. So be careful if you're taking pizza when it's not Friday, because it might not sit well with you. But today, maybe we can do another pizza since it's Friday and try to fix our stomachs back to see.
Whatever you do, don't pay $10,000, 10,000 Bitcoin for your pizza. Okay, whatever you do, don't do that.
Oh my God, yeah,
yeah, but totally a thing.
I mean, what would you do like back in the day without knowing all of that? Because I do remember the first time I got Bitcoin, it was like, yeah, I want to go to take a look at, like opportunity to make money. You hold the first asset, digital asset, wasn't that expensive. And I have spent Bitcoin. When I look back and I say, well, do I regret it? I always regret spending Bitcoin, right? Don't know why. Well, I do know why, right? Because right now it's much more value. But have you spent Bitcoin in the past and regret about it?
Yeah, good question, OC. Let me adjust my chair here. Let me adjust my seat. Hold on. There we go. Get adjusted here because let me tell you some stories here. So story time with Army Piper. Here we go, folks. So I have two items that I have spent Bitcoin on. I didn't use Bitcoin to buy it. I sold my Bitcoin to buy things. One was for a down payment on the car, which I ended up paying off with Trump coin. That was around, let's see here. I want to say Bitcoin's around $50,000 when I did that. And I sold about 0.3 Bitcoin for that down payment. The other one is this house that I'm living in right now. $200,000 down payment on this house with the 2.75. So I didn't have to put, I had to put 200,000 down because I was assuming their loan amount was about 575. at a 2.75% interest rate, mortgage rate, and I didn't want to pass that up on this house. And then the other thing is you have to pay the difference from the valuation of the home from the mortgage. So I had to pay about a $200,000. So I did sell around $103,000. Got out of the markets and then bought back in April, right? So, but I did use $200,000 of that $103,000 Bitcoin, so about 1.75 Bitcoin, somewhere in that ballpark, fuzzy math, and put that on this house. So, at the end of the day, I did take a hard asset and buy another hard asset, real estate. So I guess that's not a horrible thing, but pizza man, I mean, come on, like at least I sold for one hard asset to another, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's better than using it on a an asset that just disappears. It's consumable, right? And that would be pizza. So haven't never bought pizza with Bitcoin, but at least I can say that I have spent Bitcoin and had some regrets. I don't have a lot of regrets though. I mean, when I look at Bitcoin now at the $120,000 range, I was probably about what, $40,000, somewhere in there, about $40,000 in the ballpark, that I could have had more to put on this house, but then I would have missed 2.75%. So I don't know. You slice it how you want, OC, but that's just it is what it is, right? Have you, OC, have you spent Bitcoin that you regret spending looking back now?
Yes, I have.
Oh, Lord.
So,
OC, it's story time with OC guy. Tell us your story, OC.
all right. So there's two times that I had spent Bitcoin, and I regret. And one I don't regret at all, and the other one I do regret. The first one that I do regret was spending out because I was going through a financial kind of like not. Just didn't had kind of like a cash on hand, right? So I said, yeah, you know what? I'm going to cash just a little money and then take my girlfriend back in the day, now wife, right, to the movies. And that's the only one that I do regret. Like, you know what? Like, it's gone. I did have to cash out, pay fees, go to the movies, right? And just looking back there, you might be saying, hey, you OC cheap ass guy, like you're going to the movies with your now wife. Yes, I know, but that was a movie. We could have maybe just hold on. Maybe another, I don't know. That was, I think I was like 15 days to just cash out another, what was it? A 15-day investment that gave me revenue. So I could just have waited, right? And the next one that I actually cashed out a lot of Bitcoin, right? Was to get my now wife's diamond ring. So that's the one that I don't regret. Yeah.
I will say that's one hard asset for another. Not that the ring is a hard asset, but I know MJ and she's a hard asset. So good investment there, OC. I shout out to my little sister down there in Cozumel. So yeah, that was a good asset class swap there. I'm just going to say that, OC. You let her know. You can let her know that Rick and Amy think that you invested well on that move. So.
Absolutely.
Shout out to let's go over here and talk to the chat real fast. We got a lot of chat people in here, and let me go ahead and bring it up on mine so you guys can actually see me scroll. Here we go. Daniel Barnes said, I cashed out my Bitcoin to pay for the Wharton certificate in asset allocation and portfolio management. I took a speculative asset, invested in myself. Bro, that is something you will never go wrong investing in yourself. It will take you a long way, bro. Smart man. Trade Intuition said, bingo, bango, A to Ace. Why did he say that? Because A to Ace said, take that money that you saved in that interest rate and put that as a DCA back into Bitcoin. That's the plan. I've actually figured it up. I did the math. It's about $700,000 that's going to save me in interest from what the ongoing interest rate is to what I got, that 2.75%. So yeah, it's going to save me about $700,000 in interest payments over the life of the mortgage. So, and then someone else, who was it? I think it was Average Crypto Joe, said, I had no idea you could buy somebody's loan at their interest rate. You can only do that with FHA, federal housing loans, and VA loans, VA home loans from like veterans loans. So those are the only two you can do loan assumptions on. And this was a VA loan. So the guy that owned this house had used his VA loan from the Air Force, and I used my VA loan. Actually, we used my wife's VA loan because she's retired military also, because you can only use a VA loan until it's paid off. So if I did a VA loan and it, like I have 800 and some $1,000 as my VA cap, I can use that, but once that hits that cap, that's it. It's out, right? And so I had used my VA loan on the house in El Paso. And so when we were moving here, the valuation on this house would have capped me out. So we used my wife's VA loan. Now, when my house gets sold and the loan gets paid off, I'll get my full allotment back of the 800 and whatever thousand, and I can use my VA loan again. But you know, my wife's now maxed out on hers here at this house. Well, I guess she's got a couple 100,000, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe if we have really good market run and a really good pullback on housing, I might look at flipping into some more real estate down here in the Rockwall area. There's some pretty decent condos down here in the $200,000 range, right near the lake, that I think would be really good rental properties. They're like small 2-bedroom stuff like that. So when house tour, I will give you guys a house tour as soon as we finish setting it all up. I just got another art piece yesterday. I'm gonna pull that up and show you guys in a little bit. I bought a piece of art yesterday from a local artist, so it wasn't expensive, but I supported a local artist here in the Rockwall area, or in the Dallas area, I should say. And it's looking really nice. So shout out to 2Dub. Let's go over here. Who all we got in here today? We got Buck. He said, "Oh yeah, and you and your wife together makes sense." Yep, exactly. Crypto AI is in here with us. Hugo Star, Alexandra GGG, the mod queen's in here. She gets air horn because I love that lady. That is our lovely mod queen, queen of LA. DDT Darren does things. Ayo fam, I used alts to for a down payment on my house, have more alts profit for investment properties now with this runs money. There you go. That's it. Flipping hard assets into other hard assets is never a bad choice. So whether it be crypto property on blockchain or whether it be real property on real estate, I think it's both good moves. Little Fish is in here saying good morning, alumni. Dave Digital's joining us in here. DD's in the house. I appreciate you, bro. He said, if you denominate your life in Bitcoin, then every dollar you spend in Bitcoin that you sold, basically, so you have to sell Bitcoin to live life. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. I have to process that one deeper later. Daniel Barnes, I cashed out all my. I already read that one. Who else we got here? Trade Intuition, Bingo Bango. If you guys aren't following T.I. Joe, you guys are missing out. He does some really good education in the marketplace on the crypto space. So, A to Ace. So, A to Ace, another thing too. On top of what you said about that, about saving the money, I remember I still have another house to sell that is, from what I paid to what I should get out of it, should bring me in somewhere around $200,000 profit on that other home. So I plan on having that to push back into the market for the end of the cycle. So when we're at the bottom, I will have that money hopefully by then. Hopefully my house sells by then. We'll see. I don't know. I'm paying 2 mortgages right now. Thank God they're both low interest rates. And then hashtag more money said Claude phone, C phone. Is it a good play on pump fund? I don't know anything about that, man. I really have stayed away from the pump fund memes because they're producing like 1 million a day. And it's really just like, it's like blindfolding yourself, spinning around in a 360 and trying to hit that one balloon that's going to actually pop with a dart. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It's hit or miss. Just know that if you put something in it, it's probably gone. And if it hits and makes you money, then celebrate it. That's how I would approach anything on a pump fund, honestly. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into all of this. Randy, I see Randy in the house. What's up, Randy? Appreciate you joining us here. You are awesome. Yeah, only so much land and only so much Bitcoin. Both are good plays. And Buck, if you guys don't know, Buck is doing some great stuff on the mining side. And he's working on something that has to do with only so much mining, only so much land and only so much Bitcoin. What is he doing? He's trying to get, he works to get companies that have commercial energy on land already, and then he's getting them to offset their expenses for that electricity production by mining Bitcoin also, and then sharing that profit. Where he's trying to break it down into a very sub level where people like me, you, OC, and the alumni, and the everyday average crypto Joe. Shout out Crypto Joe, where we can get fractionalized purchasing power on mining rigs. Where I can't afford a $5,000 or $6,000 mining rig, but I can afford to buy a tenth of one, right? And so I can't wait for that to come to fruition. Buck's working amazing things over there. And we will make sure that the alumni understand that on ramp and all the details about it once it happens. So it's pretty awesome right now. All right, let's go over here real fast. I'm going to jump over here, OC. I'm going to pull up some Chat GPT. Come here. I got to show you guys. Yesterday, I bought this piece of art and I had Chat GPT image usage request. I had Chat GPT. This is our current fireplace right now at our new house. And it's got this big, massive white space up on the wall that I just don't know what to do with. And I was like, I need a piece of art up there, but I need something that's going to be light, not too heavy, because that's a solid wood panel. So I want to use a very small nail to go into it. And that would mean I need canvas art. That would mean I need an artist piece of art. And so this is the piece of art that we looked at a consignment store here in the local area. And it's a local artist. You got your little sailboats there and some flowers. It's pretty cool, impressionist painting. And I said, hey, throw that over my fireplace and let me know what that would look like, Chat GPT. And she did. She did an amazing job at it. It looks awesome. So this is what it will look like. Right here. Can I get it in there? There we go. That's what it will look like with that piece of art over. Right now it's getting framed. So gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty cool. I can't wait to get that piece of art hung up, and then the house will be ready. We'll be ready to make it happen. So I just wanted to show that real fast, OC. Let's jump in on your chart and just see where we're at right now with Bitcoin. And then we'll come back and we'll knock out the news. So, and I'm going to reset my camera because I'm doing like max headroom over here, glitching and stuff. So we'll let you go through the news and get that going, and then we'll come back and knock out the news. Let's see, what do you got for us?
Absolutely. So, guys, just to let you know, I just opened up a long. This is a little bit of a risky long. Remember, this is still a 1/4 of a long. Yesterday, as we were talking, remember, we entered a long positioning here. I was expected to get all the way up. Just so you know, throughout the the chart prem class, I start seeing this reversal candle, right? So I was about to cancel or close that position just to prevent you going to stop loss zones. But despite that, we changed of candle, and then the candle started moving upwards. The candle indeed closed bullish, or like countercutting decision right there. What happens that they give you a little bit more of confidence. So I decided just to move my stop to entry, take 50% out, and then we took our profits right at the edge. Which edge? Well, then this white line that we have here, which is a support zone that is acting as a resistance so far. So right now, I just see that we have hit the bottom of that support once again. So I decided to open up a 1/4 of an entry position. Something important about this is this could be breaking to the downside. Look at my stop loss, very, very tight. It doesn't even have, I usually aim for the previous low and then a little bit more of a wiggle room. In fact, this should be all the way down here, just like you see it in my broker. There it is. And just so you know, well, then this could be breaking out. If it breaks out, perfect, let it go. I'm prepared to take that hit. And, well, I think we could be looking at something like that. But so far, I want to talk about the previous head and shoulders that we had, right? Also, I was about to discard this section, and that is because we did not broke the neckline. Well, then we also did not make this high here, so this also leaves us once again on a difficult situation, because this could be the shoulder, a double shoulder like this. All right, so we can still go low. If we break, most likely we're going to be hitting that shoulder scenario. So once again, back into the head and shoulders possibilities. But so far, you see that I think that we might have an out of place goose heading here, and we could have a next movement to the upside. Be careful if you're going to be copying this trade. I'm just saying this could be breaking down. That's what I'm going again, 1/4 of a position, trying to play the insides of this possible triangle, because remember, there is no resistance up here that I can actually create this trend line from. This trend line, it is just I'm predicting this trend line, right? This is just part of my speculation. So just zooming out, we're still making that range. Still looking like that continuation pattern, would we have the first hump, secondary hump, create the triangle, and then breakout, retest, off we go. So I still stand behind it until we break the support, and maybe we create a hit in shoulders. But other than that, looking good, looking that we want to hold right there. And if for the worst case scenario, we're going to be looking at a 113, 114-ish zones for a bounce so far. But as you can also see, I have a 116 alert, not only to let me know that we are on the big megaphone median, right? But also that I could be overshooting to my dynamic reactor. So this is both an early signal and a spot on alert that I have right there. So that's what I got right now on Bitcoin. Let me know if you're ready to take over. If not, I can take a look at Ethereum.
I am. I'm not Max Headroom anymore. I'm good now. Had to reset my camera. It's so weird. Shout out to LBC. LBC, when do you get back from vacation, bro? Because we miss Markets After Dark. And Alex O, if he's out there watching this at all today, we miss you too, man. We're missing the Alex O crypto show every morning. My morning routine has just been whack this week. We also have a poll up, guys. We have a poll that we're running right now. It was an age test. Let me pull it up here. Let's go over here, OC. It says, age test. Do you know how to drive a manual transmission? And 95% has said yes. 5% have said no. So we either have some very smart people in here, or we have some very old people in the alumni. So, OC, do you know how to drive a manual transmission, Mr. I live in Mexico, land of the old cars? I'm sure you do, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I was just making sure, because I started out. BC, you start way too early, man. Back off. He said, because you don't wake up in time for my show, Piper. I started out driving like out in the country. We lived out in the country, had like 147 acres of land, and our house itself was a 1/4 mile off of the road with a cornfield in front. So we had a long easement right of access, right, for a driveway. So yeah, I started out driving up and down that driveway for a 1/4 mile with a manual transmission, learning to drive. But I also operated a double clutch tractor. So BC Port Corp in his semi driving education, he knows about double clutches. So if you can drive a double clutch, you can drive anything except for the markets. They don't do what I tell them to do. They do what they want. But if I wanted to do something, I'll buy a whole bunch of something and then it will go down. So I guess I do have the ability to manipulate the market. So just not in the way I want. Let's go jump over to the news, OC, and let's see what we have over here on the news. We gotta bring it down.
Before we go to
What's that?
news, let me just clarify something. Guys, if you don't know what a double clutch is, it's a car with an extra pedal. So you either need a third leg or a tail to drive those. So either have.
So they also come with the clutch on the gear shift. So you have a clutch with your foot and then a clutch that you can control on the gear shift. So as you're shifting gears, you also have the other one that you can pull up, and it goes into whole nother world of yeah, it's a pain. It's a pain, bro. It's a total pain. So yeah, that's BC Port Corp said it's a pain. He knows. I thought Piper was going to say, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can dodge a wrench, You can dodge a concussion. I don't know. Let's go jump over to the news, OC, see what we got here. All right, guys, looking here at the total crypto market cap, we're at $3.89 trillion. The current trend line coming in at $4.077 trillion. We are only undervalued by about 4.5% right now. It's awesome. So, crypto trades, dude. What is wrong with you? Did you guys see crypto trades' comment? I'll just leave it at that. I'm not even going to put that on the screen. Current wristbands right now, we're sitting at 58.5% wristbands. We're still in a 2x DCA for Bitcoin. We are very soon, if we continue up, going to hit some levels there of only a single DCA. Your base DCA will be at 1x, right? Right now, Bitcoin dominance is taking a dumpsy do, man. Shout out to TradeFly for dumpsy do. Right now, with stable coins, Bitcoin dominance is at 61.5%. Without stables in there, it's only 65.6. So we're seeing a nice dump there on Bitcoin dominance as these altcoins are rallying into play. Current fear and greed right now is at 73. We're still not at extreme greed right now. This just came out 57 minutes ago. Bitcoin was at 118,820 at that time. Right now, about 118.1. So 73 on the greed right now. Guys, we have big news coming in today. President Trump says big signing at 2:30 in the White House. He plans to sign the Genius Act into law today. So yeah, keep all eyes on Circle today. Right now, Circle $251. Is that correct? Is that right? Circle 251 right now. Holy cannoli. Let me check something. I just got to see. Circle. No, Circle is not at 250 right now. Circle went up to 262, which I told you guys it probably would. But yeah, it's getting a little pullback right now. Probably going to see a lot of volatility on CRCL today because of the Genius Act, and I think they're going to try to shake people out before that all happens today at 2:30. So big signing today, White House, big news. It's going to be huge. It's huge. This is huge. OC, can we talk about this? You know how I tell you all the time, I like Mexican Coca-Cola because it's made with real cane sugar. I can't stop winning here with Trump. Broker's deal for Coca-Cola to use real cane sugar in the U.S. What's this going to do to the Mexican Coca-Cola market? I don't know, OC. Just wanted to drop that in there. We'll talk more about that in a second. And then, yeah, Trump signing in that bill today. That's it. We're going to talk about this in a little while. This is that critical resistance level that I was talking about on the thumbnail. Let's take a look here at the liquidations in the past 24 hours. Past 24 hours, 187,104 people thought they ventured into the dangerous world of trading and got liquidated. Total liquidations, $848 million. So almost a billion there, getting close. Largest single liquidation, OC, was on Bitcoin. It was a $50.79 million. Guys, we're not ready to moonshot yet. We're not there yet. We still have these resistances. Stop making these trades with high leverage. And if you got $50 million to throw on a trade for Bitcoin, I mean, I'll take just 1 million of it. 1 million my way. I'll split half my winnings with you. How about that? I'll trade smarter than you. So looking here at the bubbles, guys, right now, Bitcoin is seeing a little sell-off today. It's at $118,000, down about 0.4% on the daily. We are seeing on the hourly, a lot of the alts are also selling off right now, but this is just coming in with the market open and all of this stuff today. I think that, guys, you will see some volatility selling these markets off, just like we talked about with Circle. I think we're going to see this with all the crypto too, because today is a big crypto signing day for the White House, and so people are going to try to take advantage, shake it out, get people wrecked, grab that money, grab that liquidity, and then catch that pump when it all happens. So 5.6% to the upside on Ethereum today, sitting just over $3,600. XRP is up 6.2 on the daily here. Other big movers, Dogecoin is up 15.4%. I saw something on Ethereum Classic. We'll look at that in a second. Hedera, HBAR, up 10.8% today. Shiba Inu is up 5%. Uniswap is up 18.5%, moved up 3 spots to number 23, moving back into that top 20 range there. But where is ETC, Ethereum Classic? 17.9% moved to the upside, sitting at $23.40. There's Ondo way down yonder. It lost a spot. It's only up 0.8%. It's at $1.03. So I just saw someone ask, would I rather be an Ondo or Link? Why do I have to choose? That's my answer to that. Why not go 50-50? And then when one of them proves itself as the winner, cut my losses and move over into the winner, right? So if they're both moving up, stay there. If they're not, you can just rebalance and reshuffle. I don't think you have to choose. And that's it. That's what it is. A lot of people go, would you rather be in this or that? Why not both? That's my answer. Let's go look over here at the stock market. We're also seeing a little pullback here on the stock markets right now. After this open that happened about an hour ago, Dow Jones down about 0.3%. The S&P's flat at 0.05% to the downside. NASDAQ's down about 0.1%. But S&P is pulling back right now after just hitting a brand new record high. So the S&P just hit a new all-time high again this morning, and now Wall Street's heading for a winning week there. Let's go talk about this Michigan consumer sentiment, because this is a little shocking. Little shocking. I thought that this would be pretty bad. It wasn't, though. We did have housing permits. By the way, they're making more houses again. They thought it was going to be down. Actually came in higher than what it was. So more houses are being built. But look here. This is the Michigan consumer sentiment. It was 60.7. They thought it would come in a little higher, 61.5, or maybe a little lower. Flip a coin. Came in higher even than the consensus. If we go over here and take a look at Michigan consumer sentiment, this was on a very bad downtrend starting in December 2024. And you can see we hit all the way down into some like record low levels in the 50s. Then it started coming back up. It's climbing back up. Michigan consumer sentiment, meaning the overall consumer, us, the American people, how we are perceiving the economy overall. We are feeling like it's getting better. Things are getting better. It's getting better all the time. If anybody knows what movie that's from, put it in the chat. I want to know. I want to know how well versed the alumni are in culture. But yeah, things are getting better. It's getting better all the time. Looking here at the Fed watch tool, guys, for the July rate cut, we're still sitting at a 95.3% chance of no rate cut in July. September starting to see a little shuffle. This was in the 40s yesterday. Now it's at 39.4%. So kind of leaning into September. Hey, we might see a rate cut in September now. And then October is still sitting just under 20% chance of a pause, 80% chance of a rate cut. So good morning. Ask AI. Trading is not for the faint of heart. Savages like DDT gonna liquidate your ass. Fact. Give me real sugar instead of those cancer-causing sweeteners. I agree. Trump voice, huge. Okay, so nobody knows what that's from. It's from the Kevin Costner movie, The Postman. Things are getting better. They're getting better all the time. They asked him, what's going on out there, Postman? He said, things are getting better. They're getting better all the time. And that was his answer. It was all a lie. But hey, shout out to that. Anyone who knew that movie. Yeah, I think that's all we really have here on the news front. I want to go over and talk about this, OC. This here is on crypto node, is a glass node. It's on-chain data. BTC is now trading plus 1 standard deviation, that's SD, above short-term holder cost basis at approximately $120,000. This is a zone that often acts as resistance during bullish surges. It doesn't say it's the top. It just says once this hits, we kind of trade in this line. And I want to bring this up here and show it. Let's go ahead and bring you up here with me, OC, and we'll pull this across so we can get this whole screen. You guys can see here's back in 2021. And once we hit this level, we kind of rode the level. Of course, the level got pulled up with price action also, but this was kind of our range in 2021 at the beginning of the cycle. And then the second peak at the top, we were here just under it, okay? Go back and take a look at the cycle back in 2018. You can see it was resistance for a long time, and then we pushed, and then it brought the line with us. We went higher from there, but it is a resistance level for the standard deviation of that momentum level, right? And so right now, We are sitting right at that level again. If we take a look here, if momentum holds, the next resistance would be $136,000. That would be 2 standard deviations above that line. Guys, this is a historical critical level of resistance for Bitcoin that we need to be aware of. We need to keep an eye on it, but it also tends to be where the magnets kind of draw them together and the momentum continues, pulls the line with it. But we are in the ranges right now of what tells us, hey, we're in tops. Basically, this will, if price continues upwards, I'll go this way, price continues upwards, right? And that line moves with it as we go up. When it comes back down and breaks through that and we lose that line, that will tend to be, hey, we might be looking at some bearish price action plays here, possibly crypto winter type things. So definitely going to keep an eye on that over the weeks ahead, months ahead. I still think by definition of the 4-year cycle, we do have about 2 more months to go at least, but we're going to keep an eye on that. But one thing we're definitely going to keep an eye on is that Alex O just rolled all up in to the show this morning and said, "Save me, save me." Too much tea and crumpets, he said, over there in the great island of the oppressors, England. So shout out to Alex O, crypto bro. Guys, drop those Alex O otters in the chat. We appreciate him dropping in here to see us. I was just talking about you, Alex O. I said I miss the Alex O crypto show in the morning. I don't know what to do with my hands now. So that sounded really weird. We'll just leave that alone. OC, your thoughts on the standard deviation set that we're on at this $120,000? Just talking $136,000 would be the next level of resistance. Have you used this before? Are there other indicators you watch that we're at resistance on right now for the market? And what did you got going there, man? Let's kick it over to your chart and let's see what you got to say on all that.
Absolutely, I do use other couple of indicators. I don't have them right now in hand, but when we're talking about resistance, let's go to the indicator and let's try to what. It was. I'm not muted, man. You just caused me PTSD. Oh man. All right. So, I like where. All right. So, we do have, or we are absolutely on. I mean, on resistance. Let me just get things clean up in here, and let's see, where can I start? Just all right, removing everything. There we go. So one of the things that I like to use, it is my, there we go, my what's the name of this thing, regression trend indicator, and one of the things that I'm also looking into, it is how that range would be reacting if we would have been just following it, right? So if we have this area, and basically going all the way to these peaks and to prolong it. So this is telling me that I'm trying to overshoot, but look at that. It is not being able to do so. When we tried, we have that pullback, right? When we tried, we have that pullback. The same thing that happened in here. When we go closer, we got that pullback. When we try to we go closer, we got that pullback. So there's 2 ways that we can either compensate or overcome this resistance, and it is by either ranging until we wait for that support or for that breakout, and then have a big body candle to get back above and out of this range, or to have some flags or some other kind of patterns, especially this kind of like downrange patterns that create bull flags, that when we go up, that it takes us away from the resistance, right? So something like that takes us away from the resistance without making a clean and clear lower high. And well, then if we have the flag out, well, then we have the chance to then get that strong breakout that, remember, is going to get us to breakout, retest, off you go. But so far, yes, we are in a resistance, and it's just a matter of time to see if we're going to be overcoming that resistance all the way up here, or if we're going to be making a lower high. Hopefully, we flag out. I wouldn't like to see this lower high, because if we see this lower high, I don't know, But look at the target. And once again, we're talking, or I would be bringing up the same target that we brought up before, right? The 89, 86, and the median at 100K. So if that happens in the future, remember our dynamic director is going to be a little bit higher here. So maybe we can just wick back down, right? And we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, another thing that I'm looking into, it is just having a, where is it? Where is my candles being copied? 1 second. Here it is. Well, we are already maxing out. We are basically completed. Look at that, the copycat scenario that we had in here, and we match 1-to-1 every single scenario. So I mean, I know history don't repeat, but this, my friend, come on, really? I mean, we just missed a couple of candles in here, but if I just move this away, look at that. It's almost a 1-to-1 scenario from previous highs. And where is that part? Well, then I just copy this movement to the downside till right here. So I mean, it is these candles. And what happened on that candle? We were topping out by structure. So right now we're also topping out by structure. And remember, we created this trend line. This trend line was based on the speculative candles, and right now it's acting as a resistance. So far, everything's pointing that we're making a fake out. Maybe we could be having another blow off movement in here for a higher high and then a retracement. I do want to see that retracement somewhere close where we are, somewhere around 104, 110, 110, something that doesn't really matter that we go back down, and we can still create a higher low along that dynamic reactor. But so far, so good.
So what I heard you say, OC, is that you put your candle in the wrong place, and it. We'll just leave it with that. Let's jump over here and take a look at this Cointelegraph. So if you guys don't know, I've said for a long time that the biggest problem with Bitcoin is that the white paper, people talk about it all the time, it's a peer-to-peer transaction asset, right? And I said it's never going to be a peer-to-peer transaction asset as long as you get taxed as capital gains tax on every time you sell, use, whatever Bitcoin, right? When you transact and it takes your and it takes it out of your wallet, then you incur a taxable event, right? Evidently, there is a push right now, and this is going to be a little quiet in one spot. It's not me; it's the guy's distance from the microphone. But de minimis, and shout out to Crypto Trades talking about this last night in the Discord. He said, "What the hell is de minimis tax?" We're going to talk about that in a second, but let's go ahead and bring this up here and let's play this. So.
For Bitcoin Magazine, which comes at a timely week with crypto legislation moving across Capitol Hill. So why don't you kick us off, Frank, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Ms. Levitt.
Sure.
I was curious to hear if the president was in favor of removing any and all language around central bank digital currencies from the Genius Act, maybe as a means to get it across the line and get it on his desk. And then my second question was about something the president spoke about in this room. He talked about a $600 de minimis tax exemption for Bitcoin and other crypto spending. So I was just wondering if you could comment on those.
Sure. Well, the president did signal his support for a de minimis exemption for crypto, and the administration continues to be in support of that. We are definitely receptive to it to make crypto payments easier and more efficient for those who seek to use crypto as simple as buying a cup of coffee. Of course, right now that cannot happen, but with the de minimis exemption, perhaps it could in the future, and we will continue to explore legislative solutions to accomplish that. As for the central bank digital currency and the Genius Act, which you noted has passed through Congress and will be sent to the president's desk. I believe the House is voting on it. If they haven't, they should be passing it. We know we have the votes, and we expect it to get to the president's desk, and we are planning a signing ceremony tomorrow aftonoon. All of you will get more details on that. This piece of legislation is going to make America the crypto capital of the world, and that's what the president promised. As for a central bank digital currency, the president opposes that. He made that promise to the American people on the campaign, and while it's not in this specific piece of legislation, he did sign in January executive order banning a central bank digital currency. The administration supports Congress's efforts to codify that executive order into law, and I believe there will be future pieces of legislation in regards to crypto that will be moving through Capitol Hill. The president looks forward to signing them, and he looks forward to the signing ceremony this afternoon. So thank you.
So there you go. So let's talk about de minimis tax and what that is. So this will basically, if this becomes a law, and it's quite interesting on the timing of this, because we're going to talk about somebody else that's doing something that maybe they got a little inside info that this will happen down the road. But this basically would allow you to use Bitcoin in peer-to-peer transactions. Like, hey, I'm going to buy coffee, or I'm going to buy movie tickets or whatever, and not hit a taxable event as long as it is under $600. That is correct, Harp. I hear that right? Up to $600. So as Buck said when I explained that this will make anything that is under $600 not a taxable event, Buck said, so what I'm hearing is that I can start buying a car, $5 a payment on Bitcoin and not pay tax on it. Yeah, technically up to $600, Buck. You would not have to do that. So did you talk about XRP yet? Any thoughts on a good place to take a short-term profit and roll back in later, or other strategies to consider? Baba Yaz, I got all 4 of your messages there. We'll address that in just a second, bro. I'm sure you're having some issues there. You don't normally troll comments, so we'll take a look at it though. So yeah, this is kind of a big deal. And recently, we had news from Coinbase that they just rolled out a new Coinbase app that's getting ready to launch. And basically, it's going to be a one-stop shop for crypto cold store, crypto hot storage wallet, and then also be a place where you can do transactions. And they plan to get this pushed out in all the places where you've got PayPal at the register, tap to pay, and where you can go over and put, do Apple Pay, stuff like that. Well, you'll be able to use your crypto to make purchases. So the days of having to sell for profits may be coming to an end as long as you're doing less than $600 transactions. Of course, anything over that, my plan is to not sell any more Bitcoin after this cycle and to just hodl it and take loans against it for larger purchases. So, but yeah, that's the big thing going on right now. I think this will be the next one, the de minimis tax exemption for Bitcoin and crypto. It'll be interesting. Yeah, it's base, but is it the base app? Is that it, Deck? I'm not sure if it's out officially yet, but I know that they announced that the wallet, the Coinbase wallet, was done, and you had to swap all your stuff over to the off of there into the new setup. So, but I don't know that it's launched. But if you're saying it is, what do I know? I'm just a dumb Army veteran over here doing a YouTube show, so it may already be out. Shout out to Deck for that one. So OC, let's go take a look at XRP. I want to hear your take on it, and then I'll take a look at it also and see if we can see possibly an answer to that question for Baba Yaz. A good place to take some short-term profit and roll back in later, or other strategies to consider, because I think he's talking more like the crypto winter. That time period, much lower, not just a little bit of profit. So let's go take a look at your chart on XRP. I'll come back and take a look at it, see what we got, and then we'll see where we're at on time. Let's go to your chart.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at XRP. Let's go zoom out a little bit. And we've been tracking this range that take on forever, right? The next thing that we did is just measure the movement that we overshoot out of this range. So that was right here. So at overshooting here, we either broke to the upside or retrace it back down. That's why we had at the time this alert. So this alert actually is not useful anymore. Let's just get rid of it. And what happens, it is that now we have a confirmation with breakout retest confirmation. Off we go, and you can see all of my spaghetti right here where we were calculating that, right? And then what else we did? We measured the movement, the possible movement that we could take after a breakout on that range. This is our calculation so far. What's happening is that we are looking, or we're tracing, and I'm not going to be moving this for a little bit, but we're tracing along this box. Where are we going to be flagging out? And guess, like, ding, 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 we already found that, right? Nonetheless, we've been talking about the 30 minutes. That's why we had it right here, because we start flagging out, right? In this flag out, remember, we look for that retracement. We look for the flip of the ribbon, which at this point is hiding. All right, flip of the ribbon, and then off we go to follow on with the previous, with the ongoing trend. Remember, we're usually looking for that bull flag, and usually, well, right here it's a little bit of a pickle, because yes, it could be a bigger bull flag, but I would say that right now I think we have found out our flag. So what's going on that flag? Sorry about that. We are expecting a retracement on that flags, right? So if we go here, you know that is, of course, this is not meant to fit this flag, but I can grab this low, I can take this low, right? And then you see that matches the third low, that give me the bottom of that flag. And then right here, I can grab these three lows, right? Which, by the way, in most of the cases, that is not correct. Why? Because in most of the cases, if we have a flag, we're going to have another high that usually tends to be slightly higher. So consider that at some point we might have to repair, readjust, repaint our top flag resistance. But so far, let's work with what we got. Something interesting that I'm not liking at all, it is, of course, this lack of momentum that did not take us to the top of that flag. Why? Because that creates essentially a high lower from previous interesting lows, and then already confirmed a lower high, or a head and shoulders with a cricket base. So far we are creating a lower high, basically confirmed. And the only thing that we need to go to confirm it, or to actually play it out, it is losing this trend line at 341. So I'm going to be marking that slightly below, and we are right at, on our calculation, at the 50% mark, right? That usually will significate a little bit more if we have hit the top and we are retracing, because it will give us a 50% retracement. But if not, let me show you that most likely and most definitely we are going to be on a 33% retracement. So looking for that 33% retracement somewhere around here. Let's see if I nail that. Let's just clone that. So Piper, if you don't know what I'm doing, and this is my Persman version of your Fibonacci. So instead of having a full-fledged Fibonacci, I look for the 33%, which is the easiest just to see or calculate by eye. Retracement. Well, I have a whole masterclass on that. And well, then it seems like we have just slightly below. So let's just kind of go like this, right? We space them out, and we have the center on our. And this is actually kind of a lucky shot. This one right here, alert on our 33% retracement. So far, we have our 33% retracement. We are below the zero line. We're creating a lower high. We have a significant low. So seems to me that we are going to be having that movement to the downside, breaking the 33, going to the 50 into the dynamic reactor. So this is for the for the short-term scenario. Long-term scenario, it is a little bit unknown. Why? Because we're still within the boundaries of this range, right? Look at, and let me just get rid of all of my spaghetti so we can see through that spaghetti. There it is, right? We're still, look at that, at areas or zones of the previous high. We haven't had the big body candle going through the previous, and so the previous resistance. Yes, we had a big body candle going to the resistance, but not going actually through it, right? What I want to see, it's maybe a couple of candles in here, and then a big body candle again above that resistance to confirm that we are breaking it out, right? And the next thing it is that we're topping up. It seems like we might have a goose head scenario, and that goose head can be very strong, but still we're topping out and rolling back up. So I do expect a little bit more of a movement upwards in the daily, and in the 4 hour, a little bit more of the same, a little hiccup. I do expect to have something like this, right? Which is going to be taking us slightly lower, but at the end of it all, create a little bit of a pennant. How do we go by reversing? I would think that will need to do with the crypto versus USDT and USDC, so stable coins. Crypto versus stable coins will let you know when that crypto winner will gonna get started. But so far, I think meme coins are diluting a lot of stuff, and the amount of pumps that we have seen in the market. Let's go and take a look at crypto bubbles. Oh, sorry for that. And then if you go to the 1 to 200, it is plagued of, Popcat, where is it, M. And remember that we have seen that in the top 100 and then back. Come on, use less, right? It is just plague of meme coins. Snake, I don't know if this snake is a meme coin, but it looks to me like it is. Yesterday Mu was just pumping, now it's dumping. This is just seems like cancer to me. Maybe I'm just not prepared for that kind of change. Oh, ETC, that is actually unexpected. All right, just saying. But turning it back to you, Piper, what do you think about what Baba Jazz is asking?
So looking at this from shout out first of all to Wick, $5 super chat. He said OC the best C. So shout out to you. Appreciate you, Wick, for the $5 super chat. OC is a beast. You are right. T.I. Joe out there leaving you that. Let's go jump over here and talk about this. So this is on our Discord. If you guys are members, if you guys have the membership here on YouTube, you have access to this. And this was put out on Monday, July 14th. And it is the DCA, altcoin DCA levels for July 14th. And if we go down here and we look at XRP, it was at a wristband 7.97. Let me pull that up here and show you. 797, confidence level 8, meaning it's a pretty high confidence level. No DCA. Consider taking some profits, maybe 30% or so. Okay. That was because we were in the 70% wristband. Okay. So when we hit 0.70, that is a profit taking line of 30% of your total token count. Okay. When we hit 0.80, then you do another 50% of your original token count, which will bring you to 80% profits being taken. Then you leave 20% in there for that 0.9 band, okay? Guys, if we look at where we are right now, currently, we're now in the 80% wristband. So technically, if this is still at this level on Monday, we should be considering another 50% profit taking mode. So if you're looking for the window to profit take, we put it out in the Discord on Monday, and it's right there. We're currently sitting at the 80% of your total token count should be in the window of profit taking at this point. Of course, you don't have to follow this. You don't have to do anything. I'm nobody. I'm not your dad. But at this point, even if you wanted to do the 30% of the 70% band, you would be setting up that money for a little bit more to go in. So later on when it pulls back, we are sitting really high levels, and you can see historically, we've hit these bands before, and then it pulled back very harshly back in 2017, hit these bands, and it continued up for a while. But when we hit that 90% band back in 2018, that was it. It went down for the count there. Again, we hit that 90% band on 2021, and then it went down. And now we're looking at this being close to that 90% band coming soon to a chart near you. So Daniel Barnes, I had to sign out a little early today, but thanks for another great show. I look forward to seeing everyone Monday morning. Daniel Barnes, salute to you, brother. Appreciate you being here, man. So there's the answer. When really you're in the window, Baba Yaz, and you can do with that what you will. But right now, coming in close to that 90% band, and we do not spend very much time in that range on the historical levels for XRP. So OC, appreciate you and your input today. I know you got to head out of here and go do a class over on Chart Prime. Appreciate everyone who joined us here today, guys. If you haven't done so, smash that like button. We are trying to get ourselves here up to the next level. We need the next level here of subscribers. We're at 7,599. One more subscriber will hit 7,600 subscribers over here. So if you haven't done so yet, smash that like button, share this out with a friend, and hopefully they get some info out of this show and understand it better. But guys, yeah, follow the DCA plan. The Piper plan has been crushing it, and we're going to continue this on through the entire bear cycle and into the next bull run, because I think that this next cycle with the Piper plan is going to set everyone up if they are following the left and right parameters. Keep it between the navigational buoys. So, OC, I appreciate you, bro. We're going to head out of here. To everybody, make sure you tune in, catch OC live trading this evening, and then also Monday morning, Sunday night. I don't know. LBC might be back Sunday night. If he is, catch Mad. Monday morning, catch BC Port Corp knocking out the Good Morning Crypto. And we'll be back at 10 a.m. dropping the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Peace, love, profits. We're out of here.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low.
I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line the most the from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline.
Boom shakalaka!
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow.
Emotional damage.
To get rhythm.
Pump those numbers up, those are rookie numbers.
Rhythm. Rip it. Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my love, now you know what I mean. You can't handle the truth.
That was awesome, dude.